On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu condemns Lynchburg of travelers in Plateau State. In business, oil prices to skyrocket again as U.S. joins Israel against Iran. On the foreign scene, United States bombed Iran nuclear sites and Tehran warns of everlasting consequences. In sports, awfully linked with Turkey switch. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwebe, reminding you that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcasts. President Bola Tinubu has condemned the killing of travelers in Plateau State, urging security forces to ensure that the arrests and punishments of the culprits. Presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga said Tinubu was reacting to the news of the murder of 12 wedding guests, including the father and brother of the groom, describing the heinous action as unacceptable and barbaric. President Tinubu directed the Nigerian Police Force to work with other security and intelligence agencies to ensure those responsible for the attack are held accountable, calling for calm and promising not to allow the dastardly act to go unpunished. President Bola Tinubu has officially welcomed Akwa Ibom State Governor Omo Eno into the All Progressives Congress APC. Speaking at the official reception for the governor, the president, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, hailed Governor Eno and tasked him with accountability. Our correspondent, Kikelamo Okeri, was there. We'll have that report for you later. Elsewhere, President Bola Tinubu has attributed the seaside bombing in Konduga, Borno State, to remnants of the Boko Haram insurgents who resort to attacks on such targets as a diversionary tactic. In a statement by Bayo Onanuga, presidential spokesman, the Nigerian president mourned those who lost their lives, describing the attack as cowardly. Tinubu condoled with the government and people of Borno State over the incident and directed the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to support survivors, while urging security agencies to double their efforts in rooting the insurgents out from the country. Meanwhile, Vice President Kashim Shettima has pledged the federal government's swift response to seaside bombing in Borno State, which left no fewer than 24 people dead. The Vice President slammed the suicide bombing by a female at a local feed joint in Konduga local government area of the state as a heinous act of terrorism against innocent civilians. Shettima extended heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims and the people of Borno State, while reaffirming the government's determination to bring in the perpetrators to justice. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, has met with Benue State's two foremost traditional rulers as part of a presidential directive to establish a strategic peace committee aimed at ending the lingering violence in Benue State. The meeting held in the States brought together the Tour Chief, His Royal Majesty Chief Professor James Ayashe, and the Ochidoma, His Royal Majesty Agbeidu Elagu Odogo Obaji John. Senator Akume conveyed President Tinubu's deep concern over the spate of violent attacks, describing the situation as heartbreaking while reiterating his government's commitment to halting the bloodshed and restoring stability in Benue and across Nigeria. The Socio-Economic Crisis and Accountability Project SERAP has called on President Bola Tinubu to urgently refer the spate of killings in Benue State to the International Criminal Court in a bid to ensure justice for victims and hold perpetrators accountable for what it described as grave violations of international law. This was made known in a statement released by SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, who said the referral would reinforce the president's commitment to protecting human rights and upholding the rule of law. President Bola Tinubu has officially commissioned arterial N5 from Lifecamp Junction to Ring Road 3 or Bafemi Awolowo Way. Speaking at the event, the president was represented by Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, says the initiative is geared towards fostering interconnectivity and communal developmental strides within the Federal Capital Territory. Our correspondent, Godwin Sunday, has details.
It was a moment of joy as the people of Life Camp, Karimo, Ring Road and its environs gathered in their numbers to witness the official commissioning of the first phase of the Aerial 5 Phase 1 project in Abuja. While commissioning the road, President Tinubu, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, thanked the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike, while urging residents to own and protect the road.
Our fellow residents and legal Nigerians, this is the road. On it, use it while protect it and celebrate it. It's therefore now my honor to commission the Aerial Road F5, the glory of God, a symbol of our collective purpose and commitment to a better future.
Speaking during the commissioning, the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike, thanked the President for his determination to provide developments to the FCT and urged residents to pay their tax.
Everybody is happy that Mr. President is opening up the entire Abuja. But we won't do it with the law. It's about us doing our own by making sure we obey the laws, by making sure carry out our obligation of paying the little tax that's supposed to be.
With this project, it is believed that Abuja will enter its next phase of developmental strides. Godwin Sunday, reporting for Global Television News.
Well, thank you so very much, Godwin Sunday, for your reporting there. We understand the Federal Capital Territory Minister has quite a number of other projects that will be commissioned in the days ahead, and Global Television will track that development for you. Let's turn to other stories now. The national headquarters of the All Progressives Congress APC has donated relief materials to the victims of Yelwata attacks in Benue State. The national chairman of the party, Abdullahi Ganduje, who made the presentation to the state's governor, Hyacinth Alia, commiserated with the government and people of the state over the killings, praying against a reoccurrence. Receiving the donation, Governor Alia thanked the leadership and party for the kind gesture. Elsewhere, the governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, has nominated 4 more commissioners to serve in the state executive council. This is contained in a statement in Akure, the state capital, by the chief press secretary to the governor, Ebenezer Adenio, saying the nomination is in addition to the 12 nominees appointed last week by the governor and currently being screened for confirmation by the House of Assembly. The Assistant Inspector General of Police Force Zone 5, AIG Salman Dogo Garaba, has held a crucial security meeting in Benin City, Edo State capital, to address potential unrest following the INEC World Delineation exercise in Warri, Delta State. The gathering included key stakeholders from the region, such as the Commissioner of Police for Delta State, CP Olufemi Aboniwonda, local government chairmen, and representatives from various ethnic groups, including the Baramatu Kingdom and Olu of Warri's Palace. CP Abaniwonda highlighted tensions among the Jo, Ishekiri, and Urobo ethnic groups post-delineation and requested AIG Garaba's intervention to prevent escalation. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has warned citizens to brace up for rougher days ahead after the body forecasts widespread thunderstorms and heavy rainfall across the regions of the country. The weather advisory body warned that the impending downpour may put lives at risk, with commercial activities disrupted and flights at airports delayed, urging residents to be prepared for other safety hazards triggered by severe flooding. With coastal areas like Lagos more vulnerable to flooding, the state's government there has alerted residents living in low-lying areas to vacate their homes and move to higher ground in line with the agency's warnings. This is Global Television, and you're watching the live broadcast of News Express with Uyi Agmofwebe. When the rest of the news returns shortly, United States bombs Iran nuclear sites as Tehran warns of everlasting consequences. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us. Oh, thank you so very much, everyone, for staying with us here on the news. We take you back to earlier story now from Akwa Ibom State, where President Bola Tinubu has officially welcomed the state governor, Umo Eno, into the All Progressives Congress, APC. Speaking at the official reception of Akwa Ibom State, President Tinubu, who was represented by Vice President Kashif Shettima, hailed the governor and tasked him with accountability. Our correspondent on the ground, Kikelamo Okeri, has details.
The sun blazes over Uyo Township Stadium, but it's no match for the political heat on this historic day. The crowd is swelling chants, rising renewed hope as supporters and political dignitaries arrive in droves. APC flags flutter beside fresh poster bearing Eno's face, no longer in PDP color, but now boldly framed in APC's green, white, and blue. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, called on other states in the South-South to wake to a new federal reality.
We are here because we believe in building bridges, not walls, in mending fences, not erecting new ones. And above all, we are here because we know that the political party is more than slogans on a banner. A political party is its people.
The national chairman of Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, reaffirmed the party's support for Akwa Ibom State Governor while describing the event as national reconfiguration. He added that the party believes in progress and overall development of the country.
I have to congratulate the governor of Akwa Ibom State because he is a wise leader. He is an intelligent leader. He knows the difference between national isolation and national unity.
The chairman South-South Progressive Forum, Basi Otu, and the chairman Progressive Governors Forum, Hope Uzodinma, chose their weight behind President Bola Tinubu for second term in office, while ushering in sweeping movement into Akwa Ibom State.
Let me say on authority that we, though we becoming here officially, that we have endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for second term in office. For us, as we count Akwa Ibom as one of the lucky states blessed with quality leadership, we now see that the Senate President who is from this Senate in this state, while he will be very busy at Abuja doing national politics, our party will be heavily led in this state, directed, funded, supported by the governor of Akwa Ibom State. This is not the way defection should be. Governor Moana, this is a movement. This is not a defection.
And now, once again, the first to boldly endorse you for a second term, not out of sentiment, but in recognition of your unmatched achievement and unwavering commitment to the progress of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Akwa Ibom State Governor Umo Eno says the event marks not just a political shift, but a strategic recalibration. He says the campaign is about access, alignment and ambition, as well as in the interest of the state. He assures the people of the state the federal government's commitment in providing infrastructure to the Ibom Deep Sea Port.
I made the progressive movement to align our state with the center, so we may arise with renewed hope for our state and our people.
The high point of the event was the presentation of the APC flag to Governor Umo Eno by the party's chairman. The moment he held the flag, the stadium erupted again and music exploded through the speaker. On your mandate, we shall stand.
Of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we continue to honor and celebrate. We shall stand.
Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
Oh, thank you so very much, Kike Lomo Ukeri, for your reporting from Uyo, the capital of Akwa Ibom. Let's turn to business now. The federal government is currently in advanced discussions with the World Bank to secure an additional $65 million loan for the Sustainable Procurement, Environmental and Social Standards Enhancement Project. This financing boost will raise the total project funding to $145 million if approved, and is expected to be finalized by June 30, 2025, based on information obtained from the website of the Washington-based lender. The World Bank approved an initial loan of $80 million for the Sustainable Procurement, Environmental and Social Standards Enhancement Project in February of 2020, all aimed at reforming Nigeria's procurement processes and enhancing compliance with environmental and social standards. Cocoa operators have urged the federal government to boost the sector by mandating local consumption, including chocolates, in the country. In an interview with the operators, including the Cocoa Association of Nigeria, it was observed that low consumption is crippling the sector's growth due to local culture and widespread ignorance of cocoa health benefits. They maintain that a government's mandates can help build a cocoa consuming culture in the country. These operators are not making the call for the first time. Back in 2019, a call from the Cocoa Farmers Association of Nigeria, CFAN, to the federal government to include cocoa in tea in the homegrown school feeding program across the country was also vehemently pursued. Following the United States of America strike, which hit Iran's 3 nuclear sites of Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordo, the global oil prices are expected to spike further in the coming days. U.S. President Donald Trump on Truth Social described the attack as a spectacular military success. He noted that the key nuclear enhancements and enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. As we take you into the foreign scene now, U.S. President Donald Trump says United States airstrikes have totally obliterated Iran's main nuclear sites, with Tehran later accusing Washington of blowing up talks aimed at a deal on its nuclear program.
Referring to Iran as the bully of the Middle East, President Trump demanded that Tehran must now make peace, warning that future attacks would be far greater unless a diplomatic solution is reached.
The U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
Reacting to the strikes, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi told reporters on the sidelines of a meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation in Istanbul, Turkey, that the U.S. and Israel have crossed a very big red line by attacking Iran's nuclear facilities, accusing the United States of sabotaging diplomacy after talks with European powers.
The door for diplomacy should be always keep open, but this is not the case right now. My country has been under attack, under aggression, and we have to respond based on our legitimate right of self-defense.
Trump's intervention, despite his past pledges to avoid another forever war, threatens to dramatically widen the conflict after Israel launched an unprecedented bombing campaign on Iran last week, with Tehran vowing to retaliate if Washington joined in. Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
In the meantime, first responders have fanned out across Israel following fresh waves of Iranian missile strikes that left pockets of devastation in their wake as the Islamic Republic hit back after a U.S. attack on its nuclear sites. In both Haifa and areas around Tel Aviv, these scenes were all too similar. In the Ramat Aviv neighborhood near Tel Aviv, the mere skeletons of homes were left standing following the barrage, with the wooden frames visible amid a sea of debris. In the related development, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has congratulated Donald Trump for the bold U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear sites, calling the attack a historic moment that could lead the Middle East to peace. Netanyahu said in the video address after Trump announced the U.S. bombing of 3 Iranian facilities. Netanyahu noted that the attack demonstrated America was truly unsuppressed, thanking Trump for creating what he called a pivot of history that will help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. There's no price too much to pay for peace, they say. Let's find some excitement now from the world of sports. Nigerian sprinter and 150-meter world record holder Favour Ofili has reportedly switched allegiance to Turkey just 3 months before the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. Ofili's switch was first announced by Jamaica-based journalist Kayon Reno. Reno noted that Ofili cited missing the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games and the failure of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria and the Nigeria Olympic Committee to register her for the 100-meter event at the last game in Paris, France. Nigerian featherweight boxer Yusuf Adiniji Adisa has reached the quarterfinals of the World Boxing Council Boxing Grand Prix, a first boxing World Cup, after defeating Alexander Kovrin by majority decision following 6 rounds of action in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Adisa, who dropped his opponents in round 2 in what appeared to be a knockdown but was not scored as such by the referee, maintained his composure to secure victory in the second phase of the tournament. The unbeaten fighter, who boasts an impressive professional record of 14-0-0 win with 10 knockouts, is now the only Nigerian left in the prestigious competition after advancing through the featherweight division. Away from boxing, Napoli have demanded 2 Liverpool players plus cash in exchange for Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen, as the Premier League champions register their interest in the Nigerian forward. Volta di Mangio per Sportscheda, Liverpool have offered Napoli Federico Chesney and Darwin Núñez for Osimhen. However, Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis has informed Liverpool that they will only consider the bid if they add 20 million euros. Chesney is valued at 14 million euros, while Núñez is valued at 45 million euros, noting that 20 million euros to the 2 players' values makes it 79 million euros, with Osimhen valued at 70 million euros on transfer markets. Now, we're not just following the trail of the sports, we're also following the money all the way to the top. Let's end Global TV News Express now with a look at some of our big stories. President Bola Tinubu has condemned the killing of travelers in Plateau State, urging security forces to ensure the arrest and punishment of culprits. In business, following the United States of America strike, which hit Iran's 3 nuclear sites of Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordo, the global oil prices are expected to spike further in the coming days. On the foreign scene, President Donald Trump says United States airstrikes have totally obliterated Iran's main nuclear sites, with Tehran later accusing Washington of blowing up talks aimed at a deal on its nuclear program. And finally, in sports, we told you Nigerian sprinter and 150-meter world record holder Favour Ofili has reportedly switched allegiance to Turkey just 3 months before the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. And that's your News Express. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV, channel 365, and Star Times 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen, including our Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and all iOS devices, just so you can keep track of our 247 broadcasts. I'm Uyag Mufwegbe. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.